Merry Christmas, YouTube. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. We back at it, man. Another video, man. Another Spurs video. Hope everybody's had a great Christmas today and ate a lot of good food, spent a lot of good time with the fam, all that, man. So salute to everybody. Happy holidays. But I'm going to get right into it, man, because today was tough. Being a Spurs fan, watching Wemby go for 42 with 18 rebounds. Was it 4 assists, 4 blocks, something like that? I think that was the stat line, something like that. But, hey, took the L. Mikal Bridges went crazy. The Knicks won the game. But that's really not what I want to talk about right now as far as the game. I want to talk about both games. The game today and then the game against Philly, the last game. We're on the little 2-game losing streak. And, you know, it's still early, 30 games in, 15-15. Spurs are overall doing decent, I would say. Play-in range, which is what I predicted. So I'm not saying it's time to hit the panic button. But what I've seen lately, man, I'm really starting to question some things. And I kind of want to hear everybody's input on this. So for me, you know, I'm looking at the season. You know, obviously Vassell started off injured. Then Sohan got hurt. Missed, I don't know how many games. He missed a good amount of games. And during that time, you had Stephon Castle, who started, right? Started. I don't have stats in front of me. I can't tell you exactly what our record was or is when he starts. But I would say the Spurs played pretty good basketball. I would say that. I don't think too many would disagree and say that the Spurs played bad basketball when Castle was starting. I felt we were playing really good basketball. And there was times, you know, we won some games even when Castle went back to the bench. So I'm not going to, you know, move the goalposts. But what I am going to say is that after the past 2 games, man, I'm looking at the supporting cast. And I'm going to put, you know, Vassell in there. I'm going to put Sohan in there. I'm going to put Keldon in there. I'm going to put I'm not even going to talk about Harrison Barnes and Chris Paul, because to me, I don't look at what they're not there to have the best stats, in my opinion. They're there to help guys be vets in the locker room. So, yeah, they're going to have great games. Some games they might not score as much, but what they're doing to help our roster goes beyond the stat sheet. So I'm not even going to include them in this. I'm just talking about the younger guys. And, you know, Champagne's in there, obviously. So the past 2 games, you know, last game we lost down the stretch. Champagne had 2 critical turnovers against Philly. Today got killed on the O boards. And there was also a crucial turnover by Devin Vassell trying to get the ball inside on the post to Wembanyama that I thought was a very, very crucial turnover. But I'm starting to have the feeling with the Spurs, and I'm saying the roster situation right now. I think we're in one of those situations that the Warriors were in and that the Lakers were in during Kobe's early years. And what I mean by that is I think we're going to have to probably get to a point where addition is going to come by subtraction. And I remember the Lakers, when Kobe first got there, you knew Kobe was going to be great. He was the 6th man on that team. He actually made an all-star game being the 6th man. But you had Nick Van Exel starting and you had Eddie Jones starting, who were also all-stars. And the Lakers had to make a tough decision by, again, letting those guys go so that Kobe can have a bigger role, because they seen Kobe was the guy. And it worked, right? We all know what the Lakers did. Fast forward years later, you look at the Warriors. You have Steph Curry, young Steph Curry, before he became the Steph Curry as far as just greatness. He was a young guy, battled by injuries. And you had a guy like Monte Ellis, who was an established vet at the time, who everybody loved in the Bay Area. He was in the backcourt with Steph. And then they draft Klay Thompson, and Klay's coming off the bench. And what did the Warriors have to eventually do? They had to make a tough decision, and they traded Monte Ellis to the Milwaukee Bucks for Andrew Bogut. And everybody criticized the Warriors for that move. And fast forward, I think it was a great move. No offense to Monte Ellis, no offense to Eddie Jones, no offense to Nick Van Exel. Great players, all three of them. But for the Warriors and Lakers' sake, they had to go so that the other greats step in and be greater. I'm not saying the Spurs are all the way there yet. I'm not saying Stephon Castle is going to be Stephen Curry or Klay Thompson. I'm not saying Castle is going to be Kobe. But I'm starting to think that we're going to have to get rid of some guys so that Castle can have a bigger role. Because I watched Castle play the last 2 games, and I think, you'll see a couple rookie mistakes he made, which is, it's expected. But I felt for the time he got, he was very productive. And I actually believe we're a better team when Castle plays. But we know the business side of it. You got guys that are on high-level contracts. You have guys that have been there a while. So you want to make the young guys earn their stripes. I get it. And like I said, I'm not saying the Spurs are all the way in that situation, but it's to me, it's starting to look like the Spurs are going to have to trade at least 2 or 3 of those guys in order for Castle to have a bigger role. I think Castle is everybody. I keep hearing everybody say, the Spurs need a second superstar. True, but I also think Castle is going to be that. I think he's going to be the second guy. He's just young. He's not there yet, and he got players in front of him that's getting his way, and they're not producing as much as they probably should, I would say. So I want to hear people's thoughts on that. I think we're getting to a point where Castle needs to be looked at as the second-tier guy, and he's going to have to start playing and getting minutes like the second-tier guy. And you might have to get rid of some guys in order for them to do that. So I want to hear the comments. I want to see, or not hear the comments. I want to see the comments. I want to see what you guys put in the comment section. Do the Spurs have to move on from guys like Devin Vassell, Keldon Johnson, Trey Jones, so that Castle can be great? I want to see what you guys got to say. Like, comment, subscribe. We out.